just a killer. I mean, he can score outside, inside. Coming off a huge game against Siena. He was great out in Hawaii.
Second year at UMass for Cross, previously played at Miami and Louisville.
He's more the silent type. Josh Cohen is their vocal leader.
Zone defense now for UMass. And it leads to foul.
Now is a great fast break. First of all, you love the physical defense by Dayton without fouling. They're great at that, number 7 in the country in terms of fewest fouls per game. And then that led to the run out, and they got it out in a hurry. And I love how Javon Bennett filled the lane. Look at the top of your screen, filled the lane, and look at that catch, lunging catch. Makeable layup, should have made it, but that's why you never take anything for granted. He knocked Cheeks right to the front of the rim.
It's a big foul. It's called on Matt Cross. It's his second foul of the game. He goes out of the game with 8:14 to go.
Yeah, enormous. Huge rebounder for them. 17 a game for them.
Dayton off to a great start this season. They've won 8 in a row. Best wins over LSU, St. John's, beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati. One of their 2 losses came against Houston. No shame in that in the title game of the Charleston Classic. Joe Lunardi has them as a number 8 seeds currently in his bracketology. They're also number 19 in the net rankings.
Yeah, only 2 road wins, but they've only played 2 road games, and that's what they got to continue to add if they want to have an at-large great resume. Is road wins are so important.
Hankins Sanford rebounded by Santos. So Cross out of the game with 2 fouls. Good defense there by Hankins Sanford. UMass pushing in transition. Bennett, who's an absolute defensive wizard, stealing the ball. UMass got to settle down a little here.
Yeah, and I talked to Coach Matt McKillop from Davidson about Bennett, and he compared him to Jacob Gilliard. He said he's really dangerous. You got to make sure he's not sneaking around.
Chance for 3 for Josh Cohen.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated and showing some emotion after that, the and one. But Josh Cohen's an absolute beast for UMass. He's been a little quiet so far today. Right there, great position. Rebound, put back. Good.
The best outcomes for treating cancer come from early detection and early diagnosis.
The James Cancer Diagnostic Center at Ohio State is designed
to provide rapid evaluation and a clear diagnosis.
We are transforming care by giving patients direct access
to cancer experts who study and treat cancer every day.
If you think you have cancer, the choice is clear.
Choose the James Cancer Diagnostic Center.
Want to go somewhere amazing? Nice, right? But we're not there yet. Not this either.
Michigan's path to the playoff.
Welcome to Path to the College Football Playoff, presented by AT&T.
The high-flying aerial attack of Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington offense landed Friday in Houston with their head coach, Kalen DeBoer, trying to The high-flying aerial attack of Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington offense landed Friday in Houston with their head coach, Kalen DeBoer, trying to bring Seattle and the University of Washington their first national championship since 1991 as we dive into Washington's path to the playoff. Just moments away from the start of our second college football playoff semifinal in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Somebody gotta shake things up. Somebody gotta shake things up.
Touchdown! The creativity of these two offensive coaching staffs. It'll be on display over and over again tonight.
I feel like everything I've been through, built me for this moment.
And the end zone touchdown! And the Huskies lead for the fourth time tonight.
Watching the last drive from the sideline, it was just believing. We're built for this moment.
Lobs it up! Incomplete! Washington hangs on and wins.
Husky Nation, stand up, man. We're going to the Natty, man. Let's go.
With all due respect to downtown Houston, who's seen Warren Moon back in the day and some high-flying offenses, Michael Penix Jr. brings Washington from the Pacific Northwest down here to the great state of Texas as the undefeated second-ranked team in the country, taking on the top-ranked team in the country in Michigan as we bring you Washington's path to the playoff. Greg McElroy, Joey Galloway, Matt Berry. We had a Desmond Howard. We're going to keep it 3 wide here to talk about the Pac-12 champion Washington Huskies, who played in a memorable game against Texas in the Sugar Bowl to get to this point. Well, what's at stake for Washington, and how did they get to this point? Well, it's been the offense. In any fashion, they've proven they can win this year on its path to the playoff. The Huskies opened the season 4 straight 25-point wins, survived close games down the stretch, including the dramatic win in the Apple Cup against Washington State on a 42-yard field goal. Huskies faced off against Oregon for the second time in the Pac-12 championship game. Washington jumped out to the early 17-point lead, trailed entering the fourth quarter, and Dylan Johnson put the Huskies back on top for Michael Penix Jr. sealed the win with a 12-play drive. Clutch moments like that, small part of Michael Penix Jr.'s remarkable season. Finishes the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, became just the second Heisman finalist in program history, joining Steve Ettman. 91. Wow. Guess who won it that year? Desmond Howard. And Penix Jr. continued his stellar play in the All-State Sugar Bowl against Texas. Threw for over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. But it was the defense that kept Washington undefeated, stopping Quinn Ewers in Texas on 4th down from the 11-yard line. And what was a complete performance with Washington until the final seconds of the game. And then Texas almost stole the victory. But Greg McElroy, you were on the call. You saw Washington finish that. And again, it's been about Michael Penix Jr. and this offense that's carried them all year.
Well, I'm amazed at how many people it's taken to watch that Sugar Bowl performance to finally get on board. Like, this guy's unbelievable. And he did it all year, but it might have been his best performance in a Washington uniform. What he did against Texas was off the charts. Let's go through a few of the key qualities that stepped up in this one. It's the movement in the pocket. Texas has a really disruptive defensive line. Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle, beats 2 offensive linemen up the middle. Penix wisely moves to his right, but keeps his eyes down the field and hits Rome Odunze for a really big gain. Could have been a sack. He turns it into an explosive play. We did a little bit later, though, this time against an unblocked edge rusher in Ethan Burke. He steps up, no problem. Very cool, very collected, gets the ball out quickly, throws a strike 34 yards downfield, exactly where it needs to be. Hits Jalen Polk right in the face. He tips it up, makes a play, makes it look a whole lot easier. And then the anticipation. He sees split safeties. Those guys are wide. He holds the backside safety with his eyes, no problem. Looks down the field. He gets it out quickly. Under 3 seconds. The pass rush can't get home, no problem. And he threads the needle between 2 defenders in a very tight window. These are the throws that he's been making all season long. They had some challenges in the back half of the season, had some weather games, had some ups and downs offensively. But when he has to make a throw, he makes it. And he does so, Joey, with remarkable ease with how the ball leaves his hand.
And I'm so glad you showed those first 2 plays because it showed him getting off of his mark. And that's always been the thing. If you can get to him, you can make him move, then he's not as good. Well, he is as good. And what he was in that game is he was healthy. The back half of the season, there was some bumpy roads. There was a 15-7 win over Arizona State after beating Oregon. And then people started to believe that this team was going to lose. They were underdogs to Oregon. They were underdogs against Texas because people thought that this team that kept winning these close games wasn't going to continue to do this. But that's all they've done all season long behind Penix and the way he's played. So it's not just can you move him off his mark. You got to get to him and sack him because he can move off of his mark and still be very accurate down the field.
And in terms of deep ball, Joey, you're a receiver. When you see him throw the ball, how would you assess his ball placement to his skill receiver?
I love what he does because he always gives his guys a chance to make a play. Now, he has 3 outstanding receivers on the outside, but when he throws the deep balls don't always have to be perfectly on the money because sometimes that's where the coverage is.
Right.
What he does so well is he gives his guys a chance to make the play, which means keep it in bounds, which means location of the ball so that his guy has the best chance to go up and get it.
Greg, and Joey touched on it. There was that middle part of the season where they were winning close, and it was almost as if the committee was holding it against them for a while. I mean, Arizona State wasn't a good team. They barely got by them. Yeah. Stanford, they needed a second-half comeback. Then the Apple Cup, we know what happened there. What is it about this Washington team that proved that in the close game, I think we've been spoiled of thinking it's going to be a blowout every week.
Yeah.
That's just not the case in college football.
Well, it's not, but what I think is unique about this Washington team is they've found different paths to victory. I mean, if you want to win a shootout, fine. We'll show you how to do that. We'll do it against USC. We want to do it when our offense has less than their best stuff against Arizona State. Cool, our defense will step up. No problem whatsoever. You want to make a clutch field goal down the stretch in the Apple Cup after you convert on your own 29-yard line on a 4th and 1, no problem. Grady Gross will go in there, earn a scholarship, and kick it through the uprights. They've found a lot of different paths to victory, and traditionally teams that are built like this with elite quarterback play and elite wide receivers, they don't have as many paths. This team has a bunch, and they've found a way to win every single week.
Joey, when you look at the receivers, Polk over 1,000 yards, Adunze over 1,000 yards, McMillan's now healthy, the tight end. There are a lot of weapons that Michael Penix can distribute the ball to, but talk to us specifically about the receivers and what makes them so special.
And I think not just the season. When you look at the last game against Texas with Polk and Adunze over 100 yards, if they do that again, Michigan could be in trouble. So these guys on the outside, we always talk about how good Penix is, but give these receivers some credit. These are all third downs I'm going to show you. They like getting this triple set, and they get there by different ways. But when you get in that triple set, it is so hard for a defense to come up and bump and run. You can see they come in motion, defensive back backs off, and so now it's like we got to figure out where these 3 guys are going. So they run a guy down the middle, and it vacates the middle. The linebacker has to carry him up the field, and Adunze comes underneath. Nice, easy throw. Move the chains once again. They're very good on third down, so we get in this triple set this time to the left. We've taken 2 underneath throws. Now, this is what it's setting up. This is what Penix does well.
Look, we know what Adunze is. He's just a big body receiver that can get vertical. We've seen him before. So we can double him and maybe have a chance, but even though they can move him in the slot, that's where he becomes a big problem. But he was most concerned about McMillan because he might be, of the 3, the most well-rounded, the guy that runs the most crisp routes, can create the best separation. They can play him in the backfield. They can motion him in the backfield, out of the backfield, and then back in. So his versatility, I think, makes him a matchup nightmare. But the guys that you don't need to be sleeping on in this weapons core are the tight ends. The tight ends are really underrated. Now, Jack Westover is the headliner. He wears number 37. He has been really clutch all season long, been really productive, not going to create a ton of yards after catch, not going to create a ton of opportunities downfield, but he's extremely reliable, and he works really hard in the run game. And then the other guy is Devin Colt, number 83. He's 240 pounds. At one point, he bulked up to 270, but this is a guy in high school that ran 10.6 in the 100 at 240 pounds. So he can flat out fly. And then you have Quentin Johnson, number 88, who's their run blocker. And we've seen at times them have 4 different tight ends on the field at once. So they're very versatile in that regard. And the wide receivers get all the credit, and rightfully so. But don't sleep on the tight ends. They make them a lot more multiple.
In all due respect to Michigan's top-ranked defense, they haven't faced anything like they're about to see Monday night. And if the coverage for the Michigan Wolverines stays on the Washington Huskies like these flies have stayed on the set, Look out. I mean, these flies are aggressive up here. They've been all over, as has Washington. You know, they're the Huskies. They've got that dog mentality, including being underdogs this year. They haven't let it get to them. Plus, I mentioned X factors. Who among them has to step up to give Washington its first title since 91? We'll talk here. Path to the playoff.
Path to the college football playoff is presented by AT&T. Connected changes everything.
Still not confident about which used car to buy?
Nope.
Why not ask the most confident person you know?
My old high school coach. This one's got talent, toughness, the will to win.
Let me coach you on this. Just say, show me the Carfax value. You'll get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. Look for me and stop overpaying. Shop at the all-new Carfax.com.
They're gonna let you.
Cool.
Oh my goodness, get in here, get in here.
Wow. At the most passing yards.
How many rings?
The highest QBR.
Zero. Why you make so much food?
Spit it out, spit it out. Right here is good?
Right
okay,
there.
Great.
There you go.
For sure.
Oh, I am sorry. New guy. Welcome to what is sure to be the most talked about event of the century. Joey has entered the mansion where this season's hopefuls are ready to make their play.
So you dropped something.
It took me a lot of balls to come here.
Things are heating up in the field. Perfect execution on that kiss.
10 out of 10. We are sisters.
Interesting night one strategy here. Wait, is that a walk-off?
What the hell?
I thought it would be easier.
The Bachelor on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Will Trent returns all new Tuesday, February 20th on ABC.
Right here, right now.
Where were we?
Oh my God, are we doing this?
Let's do this.
Right here, right now.
Y'all waiting for help to come? It's already here.
Exactly. That's what I've always said.
After school crew is back, baby.
Let's get to work. I'm back on this case.
There is always a reason to fight for another day.
This is the year to break the rules.
I'm in.
Okay.
That was inspiring.
I'm excited to see what's coming.
Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Let's go!
Let's take this rocket ship for a ride. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just so happy to be back.
Here we go.
The College Football Playoff National Championship. Monday on ESPN.
First Take gets you started on Monday. Full programming grid to get you ready for Michigan and Washington. College football final.
I guess you left that off, huh?
Wraps up today, ESPN2. I know. How about that? But we kick off 7:30.
Who made that?
1 versus 2. Doesn't matter. It's fixed.
What is it like to have that dog? What is that?
Just somebody that'll do anything to come out victorious. A lot of dogs are bark, no bite, but I think we're not no regular dogs.
To say that we have that dog in us, it just means that we have that resiliency that no matter what circumstances, we're not going to back down to anybody.
You go out there with, violent intentions regardless of who you're lined up against.
And no matter what happens, no matter if you're down, no matter if you're up, just imposing your will on someone, having that dog in you.
While Michigan's us against the world, Washington has certainly embraced being an underdog. They are here representing the Pac-12 one final time as our Molly McGrath is situated with the Huskies.
Well, Matt, Washington quarterback Michael Penix is usually more serious and reserved, but when I asked him what he'll be feeling when he walks out onto that field on Monday night, he broke out into a huge smile and admitted he's still wrapping his head around the fact that his team is playing for a national championship. You could feel the excitement emanating from the Huskies quarterback, but he said come game time, he is going to be calm and confident. Now, Penix stressed the importance of connecting with his receivers for explosives in the passing game, but said his pass protection is going to be crucial in this matchup, pointing to the pass blocking of their running back, Dylan Johnson. Now, Johnson suffered a right foot injury and a left knee injury at the end of the Sugar Bowl game and told me he's spending 8 to 9 hours a day seeking treatment to get himself ready for that matchup, and said nothing is keeping him off the field on Monday night, Matt.
Molly, thank you. That'll be one we watch when he goes through warm-ups and then of the game. I would agree with Molly that all the reports coming out, he's not going to miss this game because of what it means for Dylan Johnson in Washington, but how effective he's going to be remains to be seen. And I know you guys are dialed into this one because Pac-12 championship game, I believe Washington opened up as a double-digit underdog. And people think, well, wait a second, they beat Oregon the first time around. How are they double-digit underdogs? But again, as an underdog this year, they thrive. What does it mean that Washington comes into yet another game as not the favorite?
Well, it all started back in February, and talking to Kalen DeBoer, he said that we had an unusually bad day weather-wise back in February. He expected the guys to go out and have kind of half-hearted workout. A workout, you know, Joey, back in the day when you used to dog it.
Yeah.
When it's 15 degrees outside and it's raining sideways, it's hard to get the most out of the guys. Yeah. I want no part of that. He said he has never had more buy-in from a team than he did on that day. He said, I knew at that point we were going to be special. And in that workout, they're all talking about no one thinks we can do it. Coach doesn't even think we can do it, and here we are. And he said,